We've been married for 2 years and it just keeps getting better.
It's been great.
I'm Eleni.
And I'm Zach, and we've been attending Rose for 3 years.
I grew up in a Christian household. I was very fortunate, and from a very young age, I learned very quickly what generosity looked like.
I was kind of fortunate enough to see both sides of the coin. I saw people that held on to resources pretty tightly, and I also saw people that were pretty generous with their resources. I just noticed that the people who were generous with the resources tended to be a lot happier, so that's something that I kind of took note of. I didn't really make much of it though until I became a Christian.
So Heart for the House was a really interesting time for us. That was a very interesting time financially for us. I had just decided to leave my job, and we felt a calling on, our life that I would go back and do my master's degree. We were just kind of trusting in God that He would be able to provide for the upcoming year.
I think it was the first time that we really went above beyond and kind of were stretched in that regard. So I think that was a really important thing. Just kind of a test to just trust in God.
In Heart for the House, we didn't really think much of that offering, but it was the first time that we had given such a significant amount of money in general, but specifically to the church. We honestly didn't really think about the consequences to give away that money. We just felt like it was what we were asked to do, and we just did it. After Heart for the House, I think it was really reassurance that there's no expectation that God will necessarily give you back that same amount of money. I think that's something that's so important when we steward our money, when we're called to give. We just give freely because we're called to. God really blessed us that year. I was given a scholarship, at least it feels like I was given a scholarship, because I didn't apply for it. And I couldn't just help, in that moment, just thank God so much for looking after us and having faith in Him to provide for us. And He ended up giving us even more than that scholarship. He doubled that scholarship later on in the year, which would have ended up being 50% of what I maybe would have made in a salary, which was more than enough to cover us for that year, which was truly amazing.
I definitely think that it was something that just kind of reminded us that God is at the center of our marriage and is at the pillar of our marriage. And yeah, I just think that act of generosity kind of reminded us of that, and yeah, just helped us walk in faith throughout that next season.
For me, of course, we can see our family growing here one day, and also just, we're here for Winnipeg, and we're here to grow God's kingdom on earth and hopefully bring a lot more people to know Christ and be a community for people to gather and do life together. And we can invest resources into that, then what better way to invest our resources?